But it is not the surface socializing that, quote, we think of. It is actually an intimate interdependency. And these are things that our forefathers and mothers set up well before you and I's birth time. And what we are doing right now, what you are doing right now, what we are ensuring is a resurrection of our authentic ways of relating beyond looking at the currency. But my good people, let's just stress this. A few years ago, what happened with Katrina when Hurricane Katrina hit? People lost a lot of things in material context, and they were also given some finances, right? They were given some money. But what in the majority of cases did people use the money on? They went to get gunch, known to some as Gucci. They went to get the paradas. They went to spend, only to go back to square one. Again, people were given, but with what they were given, the mind was not right. And hence what happened? They lived the reality of their mindset. What I want to share and emphasize with this short time that we have together is the understanding of what you are so brilliant to give yourself an opportunity to be a part of. It is not a thing at all about surface involvement, surface interaction. And when I spoke to my brother Joe, I was like, I trust that our people know the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful structure that has been literally set in place for them to participate and assist in growing, not just for their own purposes, but for others beyond one's own self and presence in the interim. And I want us to be able to understand that before we live anything out, any outcome out that becomes literally succeeded, again, we have to get our mind right. And so literally, it is not, and I repeat, it is not limited to how much money, quote, you can make at the end of every 4 or 5 weeks, end quote. If your mindset is there, what you are looking at is you are looking at limitations before growth in itself sets in. Because again, a people of Al-Kabulan, misnomered Africans, and other epithets have never lacked. That is why the Eurasian, familiar to most as the Asians and the Europeans, together we refer to them as the Eurasians. That is why the Eurasians have always depended on you, son and daughter of Al-Kabulan. They have depended on you because you represent the authorship of humanity. But now what you have to understand is that you have to now build for your people, beginning with self. So Ujamaa is about, and I will say it in a language called Twi, and then I will translate it in English. Say ede adibi kahua inkrofu bebre bemao adibi eyeso. Again, say adibi kahua inkrofu bebre omo bemao adibi eyeso. That is when you put something small into the greater whole, you will get more. And that really is the whole concept. And as our sister was going through the people in the different areas doing different things in the context of push, a smile came to my face, because what we are a part of is the philosophy of our forefathers and mothers called usahihi, the virtue of mutual actualization where there is reciprocity. But again, all these things do not materialize into its maturity if we do not get our mind right. And what I want to extend to you as your brother are three fundamental things that you have to remember, again, beyond participationary presence. And that is Ubuntu, I am because you are, and you are because we are. Yes, my good people, in this hemisphere called the so-called United States of America, we have been dislodged from our authentic reference of Al-Kabulan. Yes, as far as physical dislodgement. But one thing that you have to know, that within you, you carry the information of the beginning of time to date. So that means that literally whatever your involvements are in today, you and I have the responsibility of getting ourselves right so that what of authenticity will be when we what? Do our part. And so in this collaboration together, the first thing we have to understand is that we have to have focus and fortitude. Focus and fortitude. We have to move beyond this five, what I dubbed the 5 and 2s, 500 and then 2 people. It is beyond that, because having an opportunity to be a part of a collective that is literally determined to grow, you will find that in association along that focus, you will grow. But then you will come through some challenges, which a few of us probably have already. That is with the people once upon a time you thought you knew in the context of close friends, associations, and the like, even family. They do not want to literally be a part of what you are literally proposing or introducing to them. But my good friend, do not lose heart. That is part of the conditioning. That does not mean literally because someone is not understanding or seeing what you understand or see in the moment, that is the dictatorship of what then you do next. What then you do next is you keep focus. You keep focus and you keep going. And it is not a matter of, I thought I knew this person, or I thought this person wanted an opportunity and all that and this. No. The thing is you refocus on, okay, what I, Agbeku, where I need to now channel my energies. Because now you know at least that you don't need to deal with that person or that group of people. And why is this important? Because again, you are part of something greater than you, the individual. So yes, we do have a responsibility to ensure that we do not misappropriate our energies. So focus and fortitude, knowing that, yes, we will experience some hiccups, knowing that, yes, we will experience some disappointments, knowing that, yes, we will experience some negativity. Some people even dubbing this probably multi-level marketing and all the other schematas that they may be familiar to, because they are definitely comparing it to something that they are more used to, but they have it very much mistaken. And that is why then you have to ensure that you continue to educate and dedicate yourself to what now we turn to as the objective of presence. you have to be in a position to know direction, and with this direction has to come discipline. Again, you are a part of something beyond your presence. We have to have an understanding as a participatory member of the objective of the collective. And then from that understanding, you yourself have to determine your objective. Because within an auspice, the elements within auspices have to have their own, if you will, objectives, which are really a subcategory of the main vision. This, my good people, is what keeps things sustainable and successable, succeeded by others well past our lifetime. Understand objective, and then with that, you gain direction. But with that direction has to come discipline. People in this hemisphere for over almost 500 so years, we have to ask ourselves, why haven't we established or reinstated our institutions? But yet, the Eurasian is able to, in their savagery, establish their institutions. And the answer lies there in something which we mentioned, discipline. We have to be disciplined to see a life beyond our lifetime. What you are a part of, my good people, is not your presence again in the immediate. What you are being a part of building, yes, to benefits right now, but those benefits are fruits that are literally going to what? To grow, that you and I can give to others beyond ourselves. But with, even in any growth comes what? The different situations that may not favor the plant that has been put in the ground, the plant that we are taking care of. But we still have to be disciplined to be able to go out. We still have to be disciplined to be able to prune. We still have to be disciplined to be able to keep focus. You know, why wicked people are, if you will, what you call successful. And successful, let's just state it as how they are able to literally meet their goals. It's literally because they keep focused. They have discipline. Then you wonder why good people do not achieve much of anything except wishful thinking. It's because they are not disciplined. So you have to understand that good or bad, for anything to become achievable, one has to be able to exercise discipline. And that is the staying power to focus on objective. Then with that, one can then look at ensuring outcomes becomes favorable for one's defined objectives. Very, very important, my people, because again, we do not live for self, but we actually participate in things that benefit others beyond self. And when we have this in our faculties, we are then able to understand that, yes, challenges will come. But again, who is going to ensure that we overcome? Overcoming means being able to go over something that what? That approaches you. That was unexpected. But the ticklish thing in any growth process, there is pain, there is struggling, there is disappointments, there's all these things. So what then of a people of Alkebulan when it comes to doing for self? One just gives up. As soon as we experience something that is, yes, pain, disappointment, and all that stuff, because we lack discipline. Not that we don't have discipline. We lack. Lacking means not having in immediate recognition. Because you, my good people, are sons and daughters of the wealthiest piece of real estate still known to man.
Meeting.
The land of Alkebulan, misnomered Africa, 12 million square miles of wealth, unparalleled to any other continent. And you are a descendant of that homeland. But why then would we talk about poverty or a people being poor? The truth of the matter is, it's not the natural state of being poor. It is not recognizing, realizing who you are and what our responsibility first to self and then to one another is. And that is why it's critical that you understand that again, with this structure, which others have been so brilliant to put together, it's an opportunity for you to sail and be a part of making things happen beyond yourself. And we cannot stress that enough. But in anything that we sow, which we would call a seed, being a farmer, you know that you have to rely on time. Because we are a part of something, and because we are having certain expectations, does not mean we entertain a McDonald's or Burger King mindset. The context of ownership and being responsibly tied to having something within your control is being able to understand and articulate patience. Patience with effort. Remember that when you do sow a seed in the ground, and I love to use that example, you sow an apple seed, you have to have learned how to take care of an apple plant. You don't take care of an apple plant the same way, if you will take care of, let's say, a cactus or a mango. You have to know what you are a part of. So that means there's a responsibility that you have to assume. And that is to continue to educate yourself so that you know how to maximize your presence, our efforts together, and what? And our collaborative objective. Because understand this well, my people, that because you sow something in the ground does not mean that you don't have a responsibility after that. For those of you who invest in other contexts, bonds, securities, the stock, you still have to study the stock. So what more, this beautiful process when you are disconnected for generations. You will gain an understanding of responsibility beyond self when you dedicate yourself to tutelage of your vestments. And we are not just limiting it to fiscal, because Ujamaa was and is practiced well before currency in the context you know it today was introduced to a people. Ujamaa primarily means my relation in existence is to add to your liberty so that you and I can be better together for those who will come after. So do not think it is this currency that dictates our relationship. No, don't be mistaken. It is your understanding of obligation to self-growth, that's self-leadership. It is your understanding of obligation to being trustworthy. The people you are introducing to this are trusting you to also be able to what? To lead and educate their growth process. So then how can you just plant your 500 and introduce your 2 and then sit back and relax? My friend, you are not serious. You don't build like that. That is someone who is actually camping. We are a people who cannot afford campus. And being on this platform, I do trust that we are builders. We are architects. But have you ever gone to the architectural site? When you go to the construction site, it's not pretty. It's not pretty. There are nails, debris, there are things everywhere. But we know what we are building. You have to have that in mind. Yes, you may get a splinter in your nail, in your flesh, you will live. You may get someone who said they would join, but then they change their mind for whatever reasons best known to them. That is their loss. It's their prerogative. But what is not your prerogative is to allow such a mind to dictate your responsibilities. Time must be tied to tact. Tact means strategic way of doing something. You do not approach things the same in all ways. You have to apply tact. You have to apply discernment. And you can only do that by what? Familiarizing yourself with process. There's always the saying, trust the process, trust the process. But my goodness, how can you trust something you're not familiarizing yourself with? Beyond a few calls. Exercise tact. And with tact in exercise, you understand how to maximize, again, presence. I, as your brother, you have my promise, and I told Brother Joe, we will connect you to your homeland. You have land on your homeland that you need to claim. You have land on your homeland that you need to build. You have brothers and sisters on your homeland that you need to connect to. We will connect you to your homeland, but we have to see a certain level of will, a certain level of seriousness, a certain level of arrival here. Because as much as you may be heir to something, that does not mean necessarily that you are prepared to assume. So let's use this platform together as an opportunity to grow together so that we come together and we make things happen the right way for people who otherwise would not have opportunities if you and I were not put in this place by those who've come before us. So we have a duty to those now and those that will come after us. So remember, discipline. Remember, fortitude. Remember, focus. Remember, direction. Remember, what else? Dedication, although that wasn't in the mix, but dedication is towards time. And then remember to exercise tact. And things will materialize the way they are supposed to. Asante Sana, it's a blessing and a pleasure for Brother Joe to let me share this with you all. And I look forward to getting to know those within limits along this journey. Asante, Brother Joe. Asante, Sister Adrian. Yeah, wow.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dr. AK, for those words. I don't know if you guys felt that my training teaches me. I don't need to say much after what he said. Honestly, guys, everything that we have to talk about and discuss, we can link up in the Push app. This is so profound. This is so heavy. You want to just marinate on his words. I have nothing to say that will come behind what he said to change anything. So I'm done. The meeting is over. Just sit and simmer in the words that he shared, and we'll meet up in the Telegram app. God bless you guys. Enjoy your night. Thank you all so much for getting on this call.
Awesome. Thank you, Adrian. And thank you, Dr. AK.
Thank you.
Thank you. Really great info.
Thank you.
Yes. We're on our way to our homeland.
We'll appreciate the knowledge and the words of wisdom.
Thank you.
Karibu. Nguvu pamoja. Stronger together.
Yes.
Keep well.
Nice meeting you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye, Shalita.
Gracias.
Thank you.
All right. Bye, everyone. Appreciate it.
Good night.
Good night.